Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm the Monk, and today we are back inside Empire of Sin, update 1.05, aka the Gangster update, has just dropped on all platforms, guys. It's come out of beta and it has finally dropped. So I'm kind of here to give you an impressions of the patch notes, picking out my things that I'm most looking forward to trying. It has to be pointed out that I actually didn't play the beta this time round. Normally I do jump into the beta, but unfortunately my laptop's been a bit so yeah, there it is. Anyway, let's get into it. But before we get into the juicy parts of this update, if you do enjoy these videos, if this is the kind of content that you want to see, don't forget to hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss out on more videos just like this one. Also, just to let you know, I have just created my very own Discord. If you want to jump into it, I will put the link down below in the description, so jump on in if you want to. Anyway, so there is a new weapon proficiency system within this game. Now, I haven't had a chance to actually play around with it, but from what I've heard, that is a big change for this game. Secondly, you can no longer rush rackets, which means you can't exactly do the whiskey rush. It is actually going to take you some serious time before you actually get whiskey within this game, unless you get lucky and get it through a mission or something like that. Bottom line, the game has potentially just got longer, so I'm looking forward to finding out how the gameplay actually plays now with that in place. A load of missions have been reworked. Hopefully all the bugs are finally out of them. The Black Book has also had a complete rework. Several of the gangsters that were on the lowest tier are now free of notoriety. All of the gangsters have pretty much been reworked on notoriety as well. And every single gangster is pretty much a hell of a lot cheaper than they were to begin with. Gangsters like Grover and Maria have now shifted as well. They're considered tier 2 gangsters, but I'm quite excited about the top tier gangsters only costing, say, 15,000 up front. That's quite exciting. Salt's ability, boss ability, has been completely reworked. He's had a little buff. Is he actually any better? Well, I don't know. I think I'm going to start a brand new playthrough. I've been waiting for this playthrough for a while, but my playthrough of 1.05, I think I'm going to use Salts just to see how that boss ability has actually been reworked. And of course, now the AI have been politely asked not to throw grenades through walls anymore. Hopefully that actually is a thing, because that was so annoying that kept happening. The black market has just had a buff, so there should be some decent quality items actually guaranteed in there now. I think that's always been a bit underwhelming, the black market, unfortunately, unless you got lucky with loot boxes or with little things like that. Getting a good weapon was always difficult. Hopefully with the black market buff, we're going to get some better weapons. This is my hoping anyway. I think one of the interesting things that have been changed actually within this update actually only got brought in the last update. The pistols are now back to being able to fire one shot at two different targets. If you remember, in 1.04 they kind of stopped that and they brought in this new double tap mechanism. I believe the mechanism's still in the game, but you can now do a single shot at two different targets, or of course do one single shot and then put some meds on. The only thing is, if you fire a single shot at another guard, then you can't switch then to your primary weapon. So if you're going to take a shot with your pistol, you're on your pistol for until you change character. And of course, the guards of every faction in the game have just got stronger. They've buffed them again. Of course, when I do my playthrough, it's going to be on boss difficulty. Just how much harder is this going to make the game? Well, I'm going to be excited to find out. Hopefully, it's a real challenge. I think stronger guards were needed. especially on the highest difficulty. I think one of the other things that is interesting is they've actually reworked how much money you start the game with on the different levels as well. So I'd recently done a cash guide in which I listed all the money you got on the different difficulties throughout the game. That's been adjusted now. So it's going to be interesting to see how much money you actually start with on boss difficulty, and of course the easiest difficulty, because some people play that too. The biggest feature change, I believe, however, is that the boss ability now ends the boss's turn. They've changed how the boss abilities work throughout the game. Every boss ability costs 1 AP. If you use it, it ends your turn. So you may have to think a little bit more about what you do. It means you can't necessarily use 2 OP traits. I used to use Daniel Jackson, for instance. He had one of his latest or highest abilities allowed me to kill a few characters and also still use my my boss ability. It was very, very OP, so this kind of nerfs that a little bit as well. It's interesting the way they've done this. They have done a few nerfs here and there. They've done a few buffs here and there. All in all, I think they're going to make a harder and longer game, which is what we want. You know, I do think that Empire of Sin was always a little bit too short, a little bit too easy, but with these latest changes, I think they are going to make the game a little bit harder and a little bit longer. Now, at the moment, my record for the longest game I think I've ever played was about 3 years, maybe 4 years. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a look at the last playthrough. So I hope that when I do my next playthrough, and I'm going to do it, I'm going to start it tonight. So we'll see just how fast I can actually get a playthrough out to you guys and on the channel. I'm hoping to not use any Nuzlocke challenge. No Nuzlocke challenge at all. I'm hoping the game is tough enough that I don't have to use any kind of things to kind of set me back to make my game slower. We'll see. But I think I'm going to use salts as well and see how this game plays. But I'm really excited about this update. I'm glad it's finally hit. It's taken ages. I mean, it's literally double the time that all the other updates took. So that's a bit of a shame, but I'm glad that it's finally here. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that the babies of Empire of Sin have just got added to the credits of the game. For all those that don't know, that means the family got added to the credits of the game. And as one of the members of the family, I'm quite excited about it. It's got to be said. But yeah, so that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think of this update. If you've had a chance to play it, if you've played it in beta, or if you're going to be jumping into this game, you know, maybe you haven't played it since the beginning of the game. I know quite a lot of people that brought this game back in December of last year. They haven't played it. If you're thinking about jumping back into this game, I do highly recommend giving it a go now. 1.05 is massive, absolute great update. And I think it's going to change the game, I really do, for the better. So let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on what we've had changed, and of course what you would like to see changed that still hasn't been brought in, because I know for me personally there is a huge wish list of things that I'd like to see in a game that just currently aren't here. But guys, that is it from me. So I'm going to be getting to work on the latest update. Thank you very much for sticking around this long is what I should have been saying. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Every sub and like and comment and everything is very much appreciated. So get onto that. And of course, I will see you in the next video. Take it easy. And for all you that are still watching this video, what are you doing? Go play the game. And of course, don't forget to comment down below red banana just to confuse everyone else watching the video. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.